Yes. So by the way, you said you are the program you were going to do was, what was it?
It was broadcast management.
And is it a diploma?
Come again?
Was it
it was a professional national certificate.
Oh yeah, professional national certificate in broadcast management.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's not about broadcast, it's about the management of the business of broadcasting.
Precisely that.
Very relevant to Soweto TV.
Yeah, that's why they gave me that leap of faith and empowered me to go and study so that I can be able to activate all the skills at the station.
Yes. And for how long was it supposed to be?
It was supposed to be for six months.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. And sure. So you must have cracked that thing, man.
Baba, I was an A student there.
I can imagine.
I was an A student. We were positioned at the Sol Plaatje Media and Journalism student.
Wow.
I mean, institute rather.
Yes.
So we were positioned at the Sol Plaatje Media and Journalism Institute. So now I'm one person that is very fond of research, because we were supposed to produce a research document following the training.
Yes.
So now, what broadcast management is about is helping one to understand on how to start a broadcaster from the scratch, how to manage the technicalities going forward, and the longevity plan of that radio station or the television broadcaster. Now, I was supposed to generate a research document to say, how am I going to sustain Soweto TV as a channel going forward? I worked on this document for a period of 3 months. People submitted after 12, 14 months. I was able to submit that after 3 months because I started doing the actual research when I was studying there. So now, when you look at community media guided by ICASA and the Media Development Diversity Agency, the MDDA.
Yes.
Now, a lot of community media platforms, they are no longer serving the community. So my research document was more on media broadcasters or community broadcasters that need to serve the needs of the community. Remember, community media is not about being commercial 100%. As 50-50, you make sure that you commercialize and you make your money to survive. And the other 50% is to make sure that you impact the community.
Yes.
So I was able to draft a document that can sustain Soweto TV to continuously get a buy-in from the community. Because as a Section 21, as Soweto TV being a Section 21, it can always be taken back by the community. So it's fully owned by the community. The stakeholder is the community. Yes. So if you start broadcasting things that are not empowering the community can come and protesting at your doors to say, you are no longer serving our needs. We think this station needs to close down. Yes. They can write to MDDA, they can write to ICASA to say, this station is no longer serving our needs. Can it please be shut down? And can we get something that is impacting to the community? So the document was more to involve the community of Soweto in order for us to take this beautiful idea forward. Now, Soweto TV largely survived because of the involvement of the community. Yes. Now, we would regularly have stakeholder meetings and stakeholder reporting sessions. And that was one idea that made Soweto TV to be what it is today. So every month, stakeholders would meet and would look at programming. Remember, when you come up with a broadcaster, particularly because Soweto TV is not a production, it's a channel.
Yes.
Yeah, so when you're speaking channel, you are purely saying you are running SABC 1 or SABC 2. So Soweto TV was purely a channel.
Yes.
Now, we always called different departments, you will call your taxi associations, all the key stakeholders to say, let's look at all the programming that we have at Soweto TV. We will start with education. Do we have enough educational programming according to the stipulations of ICASA? Do we have enough current affairs programming according to the stipulations of ICASA, do we have enough sporting programming? Do we have enough on religion? Do we have enough on community empowerment and development? So the community is the one that will advise us on the type of programming that they want to see on set. And then we'd go back to the drawing board and look at production and technicalities to say, this is the line that we are taking, or the strategy that we are taking in the next 5 years, informed by the one that is hiring us, which is the viewer. That's one thing that most broadcasters forget and most television channels forget. The person that is hiring you is the viewer, not the owner of the station. If the viewer takes the remote control or they switch off to the next channel, you have no business whatsoever.
Yeah.
So the community was our viewer, and we had to listen to the type of programming that they wanted. So we were able to marry all the ideas and design programs to accommodate the community. So that research document was also aligned to how we are going to sustain Soweto TV going forward, with the involvement of the boss, which is the viewer.
Yes. Wow. And that research document was part of your program.
Part of the program, yes, sir.
And as a result, you graduated after 6 months.
Very true. Then we are called to say, Mr. Tau, you have done wonderful work, and your papier is endorsed. We want to come and see you back so that we can do the honors. I was very excited, and I thanked myself for doing that work in time, because sometimes when you study, you tell yourself that you have all the time. You will continuously say, no, I'll come back to it. I was able to do it right on time and honor it whilst there's still time. Yes, we were honored for that, and the document was also endorsed by the station. They married the document and they used it to further progress the development of the station.
Wow, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. And now all of a sudden you are, and I always say to people that I lived in Soweto for a very short while in Tlali. And as a boy from Skukuneland, that was during well, at first when I went to study at Vez, I lived at St. Thomas, which is in Bara, because then we were not allowed to live on campus as black students. So we were living in St. Thomas and commuting every morning with a bus to Vez University. And then when I finished my studies and studied my corporate work, I lived in Tlali for a couple of years. I'm still like a son at Memtuva's house. Whenever I go there, I feel like I'm at my mother's house, and she always regarded me as her son. And I'm very close to the children. I'm grateful for that opportunity. But one thing I always say to people from Soweto, Soweto is a very big brand. And I've never actually felt confident to say I'm a Sowetan. Because I felt like, once you say that, the expectations are just so much. And now if you are born and bred in Soweto and then you say, where are you from? I always find it's better to say I'm from Diepkloof or I'm from Tlali. But the moment you say Soweto, let's say you are in London and somebody says, where are you from? You can easily say I'm from Soweto. Say, oh, Soweto, South Africa, Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
You are expected to represent the whole of Soweto. And so I've never actually felt confident to say that, and I don't know why. And I almost liken it to saying, if you say I live in London or I live in New York, I live in Paris and Frankfurt and Tokyo, it's like, wow, it's too heavy. That's how I look at Soweto. I mean, that's what Soweto is for me. Not even Johannesburg, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now, you having done that for the village, for the township of Soweto, how does it, what responsibility does it impose on you?
It comes with expectations. When you say you are from Soweto, that means you exist in the knowing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you captured that.
Yes.
When you say to somebody around any township, rather out of Soweto, you come from the southwestern township, the immediate question is, tell us more.
Yes.
So people assume that you exist in the knowing.
Yes.
Not only in the knowing, but you understand perhaps where South Africa comes from as a country. So when you say, okay, so Soweto, somebody can say to you, so tell us South Africa. They assume that when you grew up in this township, you also entwined with other chronicles and events that occurred in South Africa. So it's the expectation that comes with the word itself, you know. People from Soweto, most of them are very conversational. You know, you find that Harashaide around Kodika City, maybe I'm in Pretoria, and they get a sense that there's someone from Soweto around this group. There's likely to be some sort of storytelling, sakokasi, to say what actually transpired. People always expect conversations and stories from us, so it comes with the word itself. Yeah, like you rightfully say. You cannot say you are from Soweto and not be engaging in a conversation that is about perhaps historic, that is about township economy, you know, that is about sports as well. So people are expecting you to exist in the knowing when you claim that you are from that township.
Absolutely. And I must be honest with you that I'm grateful for spending those years in Soweto, because it's like, you are right, it's like a piece of South Africa that you ought to know. And I always say that, you know, I had a lot of conversation with the late Dr. Richard Mabonya, because I did some work for his institute, and he will talk about Soweto with passion, with strong belief that if there was something to be right in South Africa, Soweto has to take the responsibility to kickstart that. And I think he has left you guys a huge task.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe us, countrywide, and it's not about saying others are less important to Soweto. Others are known for other things.
Yes, very true.
But if there is a change to happen, and that's why I believe very strongly that the Premier Makura always is very passionate about the township economy. And I always say to him, if it doesn't start in Soweto, it will never happen.
Very true, because this township needs to cough first. You know, look at what happens when you get this national riots.
Yeah.
You know, remember when that sad situation happened with the Somalis attack?
Yes.
It started right here in Snake Park in Soweto. It went to Zola, it went to Dobsonville, Brandfisherville, and straight to East Rand. From East Rand, it started in Natal. Look, it's a simple cough that happened in Soweto. And look at how it was able to spread. So, that was a bad thing. It cannot be celebrated. But imagine if a good thing starts, and Soweto is the one to start coughing with the influence that it has, then the whole nation can catch the whole cold of a wonderful thing.
I always say that Soweto is equivalent to Harlem to New York. You can't perfect New York and leave Harlem out. They will pull you down.
Can I give you another present and I give you a very warm clap? That's very true. Very true.
Yeah.
I think it's the nature that Soweto has built itself to be, you know, over and above a lot of challenges that it has went through. But it boasts itself with this character, a bold character that says, I am a brand and I am known to be influential in, influencing South Africa as a nation. So most things, you're quite right, when they start here, the whole nation wants to listen. And we should never take that light, like you rightfully say, we should never take that light.
And you must be the only township with a university campus.
I doubt that can happen.
You know, So Soweto owes it to all of us in South Africa to get things right, and all the people of Soweto who are born and bred in Soweto must not shy and walk away from this big responsibility and this mantle of the name of the name Soweto. But anyway, now you are done, you are back, and then you come into contact with the legend Dr. Tami Mazwai.
Yes.
And he is a very good in supporting young entrepreneurs. He has been doing that since ever I knew him.
Yeah, that one I call him the Bulldozer. Yeah, he presents an opportunity once. You are playful about it, he moves to the next person.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is how we met Dr. Tamima Zwai. Now, in Soweto, there's a group of seasoned property guys around Soweto. This was the likes of Dr. Maponya. So these are the people that mentored me. He group Dr. Maponya, the owner of Ubuntu Cross.
Yes.
Yeah, he's late now. That is Sigwele Numalo.
Yes.
Ndate Mabuto of the Mabuto stores.
Yes.
If you are around Soweto, you would know he was very much of a property mogul as well. Ndate Mabuto is also late. You have your Sakumzi, Lena, very influential in the space. Ndate Tabeke, Ndate Maheta.
Yes.
Around Soweto. Now, Ndate Nelson Mtembu. So Honano Ndate Nelson Mtembu is into township economy, like the industrial parks.
Yes.
He owns a lot of property in the industrial parks. Now, how I got to meet this gentleman, I was working on a paper project, Soweto News, with my friend Sinlo, Mahobato. We were positioned here in Orlando at Commerce House. This is where they used to host the Chamber of Commerce in Soweto, right here at Commerce House. Now, every time when these old men met, the groups, Tate Maponya, Tate Mabuto, Tate Sigwell, they did not have a secretary. Now, these old men will always come in this boardroom when they book themselves in. But every time Hanseki, Fetakiva, I hear Manhore, their discussions are not noted. So, one day when they are on a break, because I knew him because of a friend.
Yes.
Papa, can I come in and assist you in 30 minutes study meeting? My boy, we discussed quite a lot of heavy things in there. I don't know if they will agree, but I think we can do with a secretary in our meetings because we lose quite important points when we discuss. And then one day in a meeting, he just drops it in the table to say, hey man, there's a young man who's busy here at a newspaper company. He wants to assist us with taking minutes. They said, "Hi man, come on, welcome."
Yeah.
Call him in and give him our schedule on when we are meeting and our morning meetings, our evening, because they used to like meeting in the evenings. I never knew that there are late meetings like this in business, until I got to travel with these old crocs.
Yeah.
These old crocs are meeting very
business
early
doesn't sleep.
Yeah, they meet very early in the morning and very late. I thought I knew business back then, but I started asking myself, what kind of a meeting is at 4 a.m.? For the first time in my life, I attended the 4 a.m. meeting.
Yeah.
No. I started telling my young entrepreneur friends to say, guys, there's something that you are doing wrong. These old men are not telling us the truth. What are they discussing at 4 a.m.? My first meeting was at 4 a.m. at Ubuntu Crawl when I started working with them.
Yeah.
All these men were punctual right on time.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, no. These people, they must be zombies and ghosts. People are sleeping and pulling their last teeth to sleep. And these guys are discussing business.
Yeah.
And when you think people are sleeping, I look at their schedule, they have a meeting at 12:30.
Big deals are made when others are sleeping.
And they welcomed me, Mr. Sam. They said to me, listen, we are going to make you sign a non-disclosure. We see you are a young man, very much driven. You like what you do, but we would love for you to record our business discussions. I started enjoying it. Remember, I was learning a wealth of knowledge as they were discussing. They gave me a very strict instruction. Mine is not to comment in any meeting. Mine is just to write the minutes, document them, and send them through via email. That's it. Then I'm called for the next meeting. I'm not supposed to comment. And they told me something that still hurts me even now, Mr. Sam. Don't laugh at me. When these old men told me straight, right in my eye, to say, we are not your friends.
Yeah.
Never at any moment think that we are your friends. We are not your patir. I got the message very clear.
Yeah.
Because at times you find yourself being very comfortable. They told me straight, when you're in the meeting, you're in the meeting. You note what we have to note. We'll pay you if we have to pay you. And then you are out, you bring us our report.
Yeah.
This is your non-disclosure agreement. You're going to sign. that none of the things we discuss is going to be exposed.
Yeah.
As I was traveling with these old men, we got to meet Dr. Tami Mazwai at his offices in Morningside.
Yes.
As they were discussing serious business, Dr. Tami Mazwai, with that thick voice, he started asking, who's this young man? And they told him that, no, this is our young secretary. He does 1, 2, 3. And he said, young man, do you still want to further your studies? And I said, yes, doc, I would love to do that. He says, I'm a chancellor there at the Vets Business School. I would love for you to grab some opportunity to go and study new venture creation. How's that?
Wow.
I said, I am not reversing. Remember, I was still trying to push and maneuver as an entrepreneur. He says, here's an opportunity. He doesn't even ask for permission on these old men that I'm traveling with. He tells me that here's an opportunity, take advantage.
Yeah.
I had to jump. I was worried about traveling. I was worried about all these things, How am I going to afford going there? And he said, no need to worry. That will all taken care of. And he told these old men that I'm traveling with to say, I also want to tap into the skill of this young man. And they said, never, you're not going to see it. They refused. They said, this one is just us and he's doing our work.
Yeah.
Because when he was reading all the correspondence that I was sending to him before the meetings with these other old men, he would always ask them, who's documenting these things for you? Because I've also learned a journalism skill at Rhodes. I knew and I had the idea of writing.
Wow.
So the skill that I learned of writing in that course as well, I was able to activate it to be able to table proper business discussions for these old men. So he liked the form of writing. And he said, I want to meet this young man. And that's when he was able to meet me and I got the opportunity to be with them.
And you did a certificate in new venture creation.
Yeah, that was at level 7. That was the honors unit standards.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was the year?
It was 14 days, 14 months.
14 months.
Yeah.
Sure. Look at that. I mean, you went to big university, now you are at the business school. So your North Star was forever shining, yeah?
Yeah, no, very much so. It can only be God, And if you look at one common denominator in all of this, it's you offering yourself. I'm one person. If I see that there is a possible opportunity for me, I quickly offer myself to learn and be part of the process. And in that process, I'm able to activate more opportunities for myself. The business that I got after I met Dr. Mazwai, I mean, now at a young age, I started tasting real money. The coaching that I got from the likes of Ntate Nelson and Tembu, Ntate Sidwell and Numado, the skill that I got from Sakumzi, the coaching, they were able to position me, something that I could have learned with thousands of rands in these institutions, but they were able to deposit it for free because I offered myself as a young person that had the urge to learn, and I was prepared to take action to activate my opportunities.
Beautiful. That is the message I want it to be loud and clear. You offer yourself to assist where necessary, and the rest get given to you. That is the message I hear you say. My brother, we're going to hold it here. When we come back, and it will be our last episode, I want us to talk about your enterprises.
That.
Now you are graduated and you are an entrepreneur. You are now really contributing to our economy. And are you still based in Soweto?
Yes, I'm still very much rooted in Soweto.
So you are a proponent of a township economy.
Exactly that. I experienced it with the seasoned business people that coached me. We'll talk more about it when we go further.
And in actual fact, we need to look at Soweto as a city. This township is not really defining it the way it is right
very
now.
True.
It is
Dr.
a city.
Maponya said it. Dr. Maponya said it. Soweto was supposed to belong much of a town. It's no longer supposed to be a township. This was supposed to be a city. And
yes.
you know the plan that Dr. Maponya had?
Yeah.
He wanted to have toll gates in all the entry points of Soweto.
And then collect funds to build Soweto.
Yes. He wanted to have toll gates in all the entry points of Soweto.
Why not? And I think people of Soweto will support it, especially if the money goes into building the town itself, the city
Very
itself.
true. Very
Wow,
true.
beautiful. We'll be back, my brother.
All right.